It's a star-studded event here at PARX Casino and Racetrack. Eagles Pro Football Hall of Famer Brian Dawkins is here to watch his namesake, B-Dog, to take on some of the top 3-year-olds in the country. Leading the charge is Taba, the Santa Anita Derby winner.
The run-happy Santa Anita Derby goes to Taba.
Other top contenders is the winner of the Haskell, Cyberknife.
And Cyberknife has won the TVG.com Haskell.
The Cotillion for the fillies will not disappoint, with Kentucky Oaks winner Secret Oath as the probable favorite.
It is Secret Oath for the coach, Dwayne Lucas. She wins the Kentucky Oaks.
$2 million races and special guest Brian Dawkins and NBA All-Star Jameer Nelson will sure to make this year's Pennsylvania Derby a day for the ages.
Spectacular fall afternoon for the biggest racing day of the year in Pennsylvania. Sunny skies, temperatures in the high 60s. Thousands of racing fans are in Bensalem, Pennsylvania at PARX Racing for the running of the $1 million betPARX Pennsylvania Derby and the $1 million Cotillion Stakes. The fastest race of the day won't be the Pennsylvania Derby, but rather the shorter 6 furlongs Grade 2 Gallant Bob Stakes. We'll also have the Turf Monster, the only race on the turf today. So it's a full afternoon of horse racing here on PHL 17, and we are so happy to have you with us. Along with Dick Girardi, I'm Neil Hartman, and Dick, this is the deepest field we have ever had for the Pennsylvania Derby. I am looking forward to seeing what happens here this afternoon.
Yeah, there's no question, Neil. We have the winners of the 4 major final Kentucky Derby preps, 4 Grade 1 winners, 8 graded stakes winners. So yeah, it is absolutely the deepest field we've had in the history of the Pennsylvania Derby. The favorites are likely to be the 5 Cyberknife and Taba, who's not just off your screen. Well, this is just the morning line odds here. We haven't started the betting. It's not out there yet for the Pennsylvania Derby. Tabe is the 8, so I think those 2 are going to be the favorite. They met up in the Haskell at Monmouth Park back in July and finished ahead of Park.
Yeah, by a head. I mean, the rivalry is tremendous between those 2 horses, so we'll look forward to that this afternoon as well. So sit back, enjoy. We're going to give you all the sights and sounds of what's going on here at PARX Racing today, and we begin with Kate Bradar and Maggie Wolfendale. They're in the paddock area right now.
And enjoying this beautiful weather and this huge crowd. Maggie, you and I both know how big PARX Bets Pennsylvania Derby Day is every year, but they've really upped the ante this time around, and with the placement on the calendar and $1 million purse, it's attracted more graded stakes winners, more Grade 1 winners. It's truly the best edition of the race, and in fact it's the best 3-year-old stakes race this year outside the Kentucky Derby. But as far as ramifications down the line are concerned, they're immense. Breeders' Cup, as well as year-end championship honors.
And we could see a possible surge to the lead with regards to the 3-year-old division with Cyberknife today. As we heard Dick say, the race within the race is kind of him versus Taba with that rematch from the Haskell. But Cyberknife is the only 3-year-old this year who has won 2 Grade 1s. Obviously, we are missing Epicenter here, but if Cyberknife were to win this $1 million PA Derby Grade 1, well, he'd have 3 to his name, and I think, Caton, that would solidify his honor as champion 3-year-old and maybe make him pretty competitive against older company in the Breeders' Cup Classic come that first weekend in November. But as everyone has said, this house is rocking in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. And for more on the crowd, we check in with Danny Gibson and Matt Alba. Guys.
Thanks, Caton and Maggie. Well, Matt and I are feeling the excitement here in the winner's circle. We're partying with the people, and we've seen some big winners come through here already today. Fans are getting to see some of their local favorites up close and some of racing's biggest superstars, but the best is yet to come. How you feeling, Matt?
I'm feeling great. I mean, I've had one of the best all day. I'm at Picnic Grove, where there's thousands of people. People are celebrating birthdays. They have animatronic horse and ride. But we're having a great time, and we're going to be out there all afternoon, grilling, talking to the people, and, you know, just kind of enjoying the day. It's beautiful. We're getting sunburned. It's good. So we'll send it back to you guys, and hopefully enjoy more throughout the day.
Matt and Danny, thank you so much. And there's a look at the large crowd. Dick, you know, this is such a special day for PARX Racing to have betPARX Pennsylvania Derby and the Cotillion, everything that's going on here today. It's so great to see the families and everybody that are here in attendance this afternoon.
No, it's cool. We had a literally perfect fall day when we just started fall. A little bit of a breeze. The sun is out. As we know, it's behind us. It was a little warm for us a little bit ago. But yeah, couldn't ask for a better late September day.
Well, we've got our first horse race of the day. It is the Gallant Bob. The horses are starting to go to the paddock area. We'll be back.
Is today your lucky day? You bet. Because the new betPARX app is everything you want in a mobile casino and sportsbook right in your pocket. It's easy to sign up, fun to use, and faster to win than ever before. And best of all new betPARX app users have their choice between a $20 casino bonus or a $20 free sports bet. It's your call to make, which begs the question, is this the most rewarding casino and sportsbook betting app ever? You bet. betPARX.
Here in Pennsylvania, we're proud of our breeding program, the best in North America. But we're also proud to be leaders in this industry. The PA Horse Breeders Association is funding cutting-edge research at Penn Vet to detect gene doping in thoroughbreds. And we endorsed the SAFE Act to help end the slaughter of American horses. Plus, we're pleased to support the aftercare programs set up by our horsemen's groups. Just a few of the reasons why you should join us in Pennsylvania, the premier place to breed and race.
The betPARX Pennsylvania Derby is brought to you by Parks Casino and Racing. This is how you win. And by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run. By the Pennsylvania Horse Racing Association. What a ride. And the Pennsylvania Breeders Association. Pennsylvania is the only place to breed and race.
What a beautiful scene. What a beautiful day. We've got the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby coming up later on. We're here for 2 hours of coverage. These fans, Dick Girardi, have been here since late this morning. First post time was at a little after 12 o'clock. They were enjoying themselves.
I walked over in the casino right around 11, Neil. There was a line around the corner when the gates opened at 11 o'clock.
And you know what? If you're a state senator, this might not be a bad place for you to check out your constituents here and Ben Salem. And Caton right now has one of the state senators, Tommy Tomlinson. Kate.
Not just any state senator. Tommy Tomlinson has been a real friend to Pennsylvania horse racing, instrumental in getting the slot legislation passed and protecting the interests of horsemen here in the state of Pennsylvania, a real advocate for the horse racing industry, Tommy. And I understand you're going to be retiring very soon, but I have to ask you, after having done so much, seeing this kind of crowd, seeing the type of race card we have today, it must be really gratifying.
Very exciting. I used to bring my kids here when they were small. Of course, now my daughters love horses. They have a couple horses. They don't race them, but they have a couple horses they ride. But they loved horses. They love coming here. We take them to the paddock area. I bring them up to right up along the track. They just loved it. I love seeing so many people here today. It just shows you how alive horse racing is in Pennsylvania.
Well, you mentioned your daughter's love for horses, and you're obviously a fan as well, but why do you feel so strongly that it's important to be an advocate for the industry here?
Well, it does have its detractors, and I don't think they understand what they're doing, and I don't think they understand what they're saying. I mean, these horses are tremendously taken care of. I mean, I know some of the owners, I know some of the trainers, I know those people, and they're passionate about these animals, so they're wonderfully taken care of. But and it's such a great asset for Ben Salem. I was raised here. I grew up here in Ben Salem. This was a farm. I was on this property before it was a racetrack, and of course, I was really excited when Bob Green bought it and wanted to keep it as a racetrack because I didn't want to see another housing development in Ben Salem. This is such a great asset. It's a lot of fun, and it pays a lot of taxes. They pay a lot of taxes to the community and to the state, and that's the biggest winner. And money-wise, is the state makes a tremendous amount of money off of horse racing.
We have benefited from your presence and involvement in it, that's for sure. I'm curious, what's next for you now that you are stepping down as senator?
I guess I'll have to buy a horse. I mean,
we like that. We like the sound of that. Maybe a Pennsylvania Derby winner.
Absolutely. Anyway, take a little bit of a break, slow down a little bit. I am getting up there in years. It's been 32 years, and I really liked it. I really felt that we've accomplished a lot. And when you think about, I guess, between the casinos and the racetracks, you're talking about $1 billion some in tax revenues that come, the horsemen getting a nice purse out of that. So it was great to keep it alive. I didn't want to see Delaware take our horses. I mean, the most important thing to me is when Delaware looked like they were going to one-up us with their casino at their racetrack. That's really prompted me to do that, because I didn't want to see us lose our horses. Because many of these owners and trainers live right here in Ben Salem. I mean, they're community people. I mean, they coach our Little League kids. They're involved in the community. I mean, the people that work here and have horses here are great community members.
As have you been as well. And our thanks on behalf of everyone here on a day like today that wouldn't have been possible without your involvement. Enjoy your retirement.
I will, but it's exciting to see such a great crowd on such a beautiful day. You couldn't ask for a better day. And in fact, it was really hard to get a place to park.
That's always a good sign, Neil. Senator Tommy Tomlinson, definitely a fan of horse racing.
All right, Caton, thank you so much. I love the answer. I'm going to buy a horse in retirement. Why not? We go from a state senator to a former NBA All-Star, 14 years in the NBA, now assistant general manager for the Delaware Bluecoats. It is from St. Joseph's University, Jameer Nelson. How are you doing, Jameer?
I can't complain, man. Another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. Beautiful. Now, you were telling Dick and I earlier, this is your second visit here to PARX.
My second. The first visit, I told you guys the backstory. We
we don't need to go to the backstory.
Somehow I ended up here with my father and my best friend, and I just felt lucky. I put $100 down on a horse, and my dad listened. He put $10 down, and my best friend didn't. So I left with about $2,200, $2,300, whatever it was, and my dad left with about $220, and my best friend left with a sad face because he didn't put the money down.
Jameer, 2004, you had your senior year. You had the great run, 27-0, all the way to the Elite Eight. After you came Smarty Jones the same year. Did you follow the horse after you finished your season?
You had to follow Smarty Jones. I mean, after our season, it was the thing to follow. Right. Smarty did everything that we couldn't do at St. Joe's. So that was a tremendous story. And, the year of the Hawks and Smarty, and I don't think we'll ever get another year like that.
Actually, I think there's a lot of similarities, because you lost in the Elite Eight to a last-second shot by John Lucas Jr.
Yep.
In the Elite Eight. Smarty Jones obviously losing at Belmont by
one length,
right? Whatever, it was close. So, there's a lot of similarities there. But look at, we see these horses right here in front of us. I mean, how beautiful is this?
It's beautiful, man. I mean, like the senator just said, these animals are taken care of, to the top. And similar to a professional athlete, you have to take care of your body. You have to do things that other people and other athletes don't want to do. And I'm sure these horses are happy with their life.
Now, you're doing the Riders Up call for the Cotillion. Have you practiced? Are you ready?
I did it before. I think I did it at the Breeders' Cup years ago.
All right.
But, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Right,
Riders Up.
Not that complicated.
Right.
That's great.
If I mess that up, I shouldn't do it.
No, you'll be fine.
That's great. Jameer, thank you so much. Great to see you. Enjoy the afternoon. You've got your family here with you as well. It's wonderful to see you again.
Thank you.
And that 2004, wow, what a year here in Philadelphia sports. But we've got horses in the paddock getting ready, walking over to the walking ring. And look at that Eagles canopy right there in the infield. We'll be back.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for PARX Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at PARX is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Well, we've got 4 Hall of Fame trainers here at PARX Racing this afternoon, including Dwayne Lucas. That's a pretty good name in the sport.
Yeah, the coach, as he's well known in the sport, won the Kentucky Oaks this year, Neil, 40 years after he won it the first time.
So we've got horses on the track here getting ready for the Gallant Bob Stakes. And let's take a look at the field here, Dick Girardi.
Yeah, it's a 13-horse field, Neil. Our favorite is Provocateur. You can see he's the 3. He is 8-5 at this point. Last year, this race was won by Jackie's Warrior. They couldn't get anybody to run against him. He won the sprint championship. This is much more of a wide-open Gallant Bob than we're typically used to seeing. They'll go 6 furlongs. It'll take about 1:09. As you said, it's going to be one of the fastest races of the day. The second choice is number 9, Running Son of a Gun, at 4-1 at this point.
Yeah, what a wonderful story about Running Son of a Gun. Talk more about that in just a moment. You see the remainder of this large field.
Right, Nakatomi also 4-1. So basically co-second choice with Running Son of a Gun at this point, as we're about 5 minutes or so from post time.
So I said it's a great story, Running Son of a Gun. Let's go to Maggie right now with the owner of Running Son of a Gun. Maggie.
Certainly a feel-good story here with Running Son of a Gun, and so pleased to be joined by Karen Zimmerman as we lost your husband, Scott, earlier this year. And Karen, I remember standing in the paddock for Running Son of a Gun in the Gotham, and he said, Maggie, this is the best claim of my life, and he's proving that.
Yep, this was his, when he came home and told me about this horse, I was excited for him, not knowing much about it, but this was his best claim. He was very happy about it and excited. Yeah. And
you've decided to keep owning him and keep his horses. What made you do that? What was the thought behind just keeping everything going in the racing business?
I just felt like I owed it to him because that was his passion. This was his horse. This is what he loved doing. For him, it was never about the money, or it was just about his passion for the game.
And Karen, you have a pretty good shot here in this smile, Bob. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Guys, I think a lot of people will be rooting for Running Son of a Gun.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maggie. An emotional day for Karen Zimmerman and Running Son of a Gun. What do you think of Running Son of a Gun in this one?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's got a real chance, Neil. In his 2 races up at Saratoga, where he was finished 3rd in 2 major graded stakes races, he was a huge price up there, 56-1, 40-1. This time he's 4-1, so he's much better placed in this spot. Those were against some of the fastest 3-year-old sprinters in the country. This isn't as strong a group, although the Gallant Bob is always a cool race with 13 in here today.
You know, when I hear the story about Running Son of a Gun, I think of this 13 race card, 10 stakes, 5 graded, record $4.1 million in purse. And I think of all the stories that are...
They're endless in this sport.
Unbelievable.
Neil. And there's one you're looking right at. That's Whitty, the Pennsylvania bred, number 8. Certainly a contender in this race. He won the Pennsylvania Nursery here at PARX back last December. Carol Cedeno, a terrific rider, runs. Lizzie Merriman owns the horse. Provocateur is the favorite. He is the 3. He's right there on your screen. Todd Pletcher, the all-time leading money winner in the history of thoroughbred racing for trainers, trains him. Irad Ortiz, who does nothing but win Eclipse Awards on a regular basis, will ride. And Provocateur, he won his last race impressively, Neil, the Jersey Shore at Monmouth Park, where he got a number that's not that much better than everybody else, but whenever it's Pletcher and Ortiz, they get bet because they win so often.
And the field, the large field here, 13-horse field, how does that play out in a race like this?
Yeah, I think in a sprint race, it's all about getting position, getting the horses comfortable. There's the 9, Running Son of a Gun, who Maggie just talked to the owner. Luis Saez rides in 9-2 now. That's 4.5-1. So if you bet $1, you win $4.5. Nakatomi is the 11 horse. We'll get him on the screen, and this area is right there with the red silks. And Joel Rosario, who was last year's Eclipse Award winner, is the leading rider in the country. Joel is sitting on 3,400 wins. He had the best year of his career last year, and just had an incredible Saratoga meet that just finished right around Labor Day.
Do we have a local horse in this one?
Dance Code has been here from time to time. Isn't here right now, but has trained at PARX. But Little Vic has sometimes been around here, has run here, but doesn't really train here. But yeah, this is not like last year where we did have a couple of local. Practical Coach for Butch Reed is local, is in the race. Butch has already won a couple of races today.
Yeah.
And his owners, Chuck Zackney's Cassius King and LC Racing Glenn Bennett, they've already won 3 races today, so they're having a heck of a day.
All right, here's the odds update. Dick, run it down for us.
So you see Dance Code is 90-1 at the 1 horse. He's actually had a real good 2-year-old season. He hasn't had a good 3-year-old season. Provocateur is your 9-5 favorite. And you see Nakatomi is now the second choice, the 11 horse at 7-2, Running Son of a Gun, the third choice at 9-2. Scaramouche, I think, is a horse with a chance. The 14 at 12-1, I think he's not without hope. We just mentioned Practical Coach Butch Reed at 60. A lot of hope comes up from Maryland. That's Jerry Robb, one of the all-time great trainers in Maryland history. He's coming off a couple race winning streak. I think he's dangerous. This is one of those races where literally anything could happen. And the favorite, you certainly could win, is nothing close to a cinch when we had last year when we absolutely had a cinch in this race.
All right, so we've already had several hours of racing here at Parx this afternoon.
Yep.
The track, how's the track today?
Yeah, I think early speed has been pretty good today, Neil. Because certainly the longer races have been won by horses that have been in front. Now this is all going to be about who gets this early position, because again, the run to the first turn is so much quicker. We're going basically it's 6 furlongs. A furlong is 1/8 of a mile, so we're talking 3/4 of a mile here. It'll take probably less than 70 seconds. So when you're watching the early part of the race, some horses that would like to have had position aren't going to get it, and some that you weren't sure they were going to get to the front are.
All right, so the final horse is getting into the gate, ready for the Gallant Bob. And our track announcer is Chris Griffin. Let's head upstairs to Chris Griffin.
Scaramouche last to load in the grade 2. Gallant Bob, they're all in line. All set. And they're off. Step slow for Whitty at the back of the field. Speed from Little Vic and a hard sense Speaking, and these two hook up on the front end. Speaking with a head in front. Little Vic is going to track in second. A lot of hope in the red cap is out wider with Lightning Larry, who now splits rivals, has taken third. On the far outside is Scaramouche, who's in fifth. Provocateur is in sixth. Is to the inside of Jelly Nougat. Tightly at the rail is Of a Revolution. Running Son of a Gun is tipping towards the outside for a run with less than 4 furlongs to travel. Practical Coach is right there. Whitty is towards the back end of the field with Nakatomi in the trailer. Dance Code 21-4 and the Gallant Bob in the opening quarter. It's Speaking. 2 wide Little Vic, 3 wide. Here's Lightning Larry, and Lightning Larry is in gear. 4 wide is going to be Scaramouche. In behind them is Provocateur. Provocateur looking for a way through as they reach a 1/4 mile left to go. Speaking is still the leader. Lightning Larry is in the 3-path. Little Vic is in there. Scaramouche is out wider. Provocateur is chasing. They've still got to catch Speaking, who's got the lead. Here's up on the outside. Scaramouche is making up ground. Running Son of a Gun is rolling down at the rail to the inside, and Of a Revolution on the grandstand side. Scaramouche has got the lead. Of a Revolution is lifting. Scaramouche is almost there. Scaramouche wins the Gallant Bob. Scaramouche over Of a Revolution. Running Son of a Gun. Then was Whitty, followed by Nakatomi in 1 minute 10 and 1.
Wow, what a finish. Scaramouche.
Speaking of local horses, Scaramouche trades right here at Parx for Lupe Preciado, owned by Nicholas Caramano Jr. This will be a very popular win. This horse has been hot all year and got into the biggest race of his career. Lupe, who's won some big ones in his life, gets a graded stakes race at his home track.
So take us down the final 1/4 mile.
Yeah, that's Scaramouche is the furthest out. As you see these horses, there's other horses coming further than him, but you can see the rider in the light blue is going to end up rolling by just here at the finish, and they're all coming at the end. This was like a cavalry charge late in the race, but Scaramouche, the 14 horse, is going to hold on and win this thing by about a head or so.
So our feel-good story that we highlighted, Running Son of a Gun, finished third.
Came rolling also late. Yeah, the speed ended up collapsing at the finish. But yeah, Scaramouche was always in a great spot. John Velasquez, the Hall of Famer, gets the ride and wins another one, another Hall of Fame rider for Johnny V.
All right, so we might have some people that aren't familiar with the importance of the rider. You mentioned a great rider can really do a lot for a horse.
There's no doubt.
Particularly at rates like this where it's you don't have a lot of room for error.
No, you don't. But it's called horse racing, Neil, for a reason. If the horses can't run fast, riders can't do it. But riders like Johnny V, they're smart. They do things right.
All right, so we are off and running here at Parx Racing for the Gallant Bob. Scaramouche comes up with the winner. Back with more in a moment.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for PARX Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at PARX is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
There is our winner of the $300,000 Gallant Bob Stakes, Grade 1 Stakes here at PARX Racing. And congratulations to Scaramouche. And what a great finish.
It was a terrific finish, and trainer Lupe Preciado is here in the PARX Hall of Fame. He's had some really good sprinters, including Favorite Tale, the Pennsylvania bred, who won $1 million and finished third in the 2015 Breeders' Cup spread. So it's not that Lupe has not won big races before, because he surely has. And congratulations also to the owner, Nick Camerano. Huge win for him. When you can win one of your home track's biggest races, and the Gallant Bob is the biggest sprint race they run here at PARX all year long. Congratulations to all the local connections.
So Provocateur, the 3, was a 5-2 favorite. What happened?
He just faded out of it, Neil. I read looked like the start was the issue for Provocateur. You could see him here. He just kind of missed the break a little bit, and we talked about in these 6 furlong races, if you get out of position early on, horses all are about being comfortable. Provocateur is the 3. When they're uncomfortable, they just don't run like they normally do. You saw him make a little middle move, but his race was really lost at the beginning. He needed to be closer. Once he wasn't, then it became, as I said, he was no cinch anyway. I mean, this to me was a much more wide open race. They were betting Pletcher and Ortiz because that's what people do, because they win a lot. Here we come around the far turn, and your winner, Scaramouche, is going to be the furthest out. As you're looking at this, there's 4 horses across. He's the furthest out at this point. And it's not going to be easy. I mean, there are horses coming from behind trying to catch him. He's got to get past the horses in front of him. But Johnny V, again, he's the all-time leading money winner in the history of the sport. He just won win number 1,000 at Saratoga this summer. 9-1 winner, Scaramouche.
Yeah, Speaking was leading most of the way.
He was. Got tired really late. There's your prices. Scaramouche, as we said, 9-1, pays 20-20 to win.
So Scaramouche starts off our afternoon of racing here on PHL 17 with the Gallant Bob Stakes winner. And we've got Caton right now with the winner.
That would be Johnny Velasquez with another Hall of Fame type ride and a nice run from Scaramouche. It looks like a cavalry charge, though, at the top of the stretch. How did you work out that winning trip?
Well, obviously, I was really concerned for the post position that we had. But once we got to the turn, I'm in 3 full wide, so nothing I could do. I mean, at least I saved instead of being in the 10th hole, basically. And when he came down the lane, and the owner was telling me, trust me, he's a horse that when comes down the lane, he's going to be a fighter. And when he passed the horse right next to me and then inside, he went on to charge that horse, and he kind of eased up a little bit. It's like, no, buddy, come on, keep your head in front. And he felt the horse in the outside, he went on again. So very nice when you got that response from the horses on the near view.
That kind of response is very special in races like that, and you'll be looking for the same type of response from Goddess of Fire in the Cotillion. This is a deep field. Tell me about your strategy.
Yeah, I mean, she's actually, obviously, this is a really tough field for her. I mean, she's been running really, really good races. If she can step up a little bit better than the last 2 races, obviously, if everything works out our way, we try to save the ground the best I can. And hopefully I'm not too far back where she doesn't have to make up too much ground.
We wish you good luck in the Cotillion with Goddess of Fire for Hall of Fame trainer Todd Pletcher. It's been a formidable combination here, but in the meantime, congratulations on a big win, Johnny.
Thank you very much.
And Neil, doesn't matter where he is, whether he's out in the parking lot around the turn or whether he gets that dream trip on the inside, he finds a way.
That's so true. Great story. Thank you, Kate. $2 million races still to come. The Cotillion, but also the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby. It's all coming up here later this afternoon.
Here in Pennsylvania, we're proud of our breeding program, the best in North America, but we're also proud to be leaders in this industry. The PA Horse Breeders Association is funding cutting-edge research at Penn Vet to detect gene doping in thoroughbreds. And we endorsed the SAFE Act to help end the slaughter of American horses. Plus, we're pleased to support the aftercare programs set up by our horsemen's groups. Just a few of the reasons why you should join us in Pennsylvania, the premier place to breed and race.
Welcome back. This is betPARX Pennsylvania Derby Day at PARX Racing in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Along with Dick Girardi, I'm Neil Hartman, and what a beautiful day. Let's head over to Danny right now All right, we'll head to Danny in just a moment. But
that's your Kentucky Oaks
yes.
winner, Secret Oath, number 6 for D. Wayne Lucas, the Hall of Famer. Right now she's 7-5 favorite in the race, Neil.
Yeah, the Cotillion favorite. The filly never runs a bad race. We know about that. We'll talk plenty about Secret Oath a little later on. But we saw a sneak peek there at Danny. So let's head over to Danny right now with Jeff Maddie from PTHA.
Well, thrilled to be joined here with Jeff Maddie, our executive director of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. And Jeff, you're a hometown guy. You are from Bensalem. This is your track. How does it feel to be on this side of things in your first betPARX Pennsylvania Derby?
You know what, Danny, it really didn't hit me yet. You know, I grew up coming to the Pennsylvania Derby every year with my family. We used to always get here early to get the free hats and everything. So to be from Bensalem, to fall in love with racing here at Philadelphia Park, now Parks, I mean, it means everything, and I can't really put it into words just yet. It might hit me, you know, later on today, but it's just to be able to represent our horsemen here, which I think is the greatest track in the country. It's very surreal.
Well, and it's talked about to be one of the best cards in Parks racing history. A lot of teamwork goes into that. Tell us about that.
You know what, it's a combination of the racing office. We have a great racing secretary in David Osajanik. We have Joe Wilson, the COO of Parks Racing, and then our horsemen. You know, our horsemen are second to none. It's an honor to represent them. You know, I don't consider it a job, it's a responsibility, and it's a real honor. And when we come together, you can have days like this. I mean, the crowd, you know, it's a great crowd, best thoroughbreds in the country right here in Bensalem. You couldn't ask for more. So like I said, it's surreal. I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm thrilled, and I can't wait to have many more days like this.
Well, our horsemen are very lucky to have you representing them. You've done an incredible job so far. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Jeff. Grade 1 Cotillion. Also, $1 million payday is for 3-year-old fillies, and it's coming up next. We'll get you ready for that race. Stay tuned.
Could your favorite casino app be even better and faster than ever? You bet, because the all-new betPARX app has been built around what you really want. With easier sign-up, faster withdrawals, and all the slots and table games you love. Plus, make your first deposit and get a 100% bonus match up to $750. And 500 free spins. So, are all of your favorite games just a tap away? You bet. betPARX.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, down here in the Picnic Grove. So we're right along the racetrack, and I mean, there are thousands of people out here. The gates here opened at 11 o'clock this morning. I met a great guy named Chip. Chip's a big winner today. So Chip, I mean, what was it like trying to come in here and commandeer this table? This is really hot real estate.
We got here about 10, and then as soon as the gates open, my brother runs in, gets the table, and I carry everything else.
Literally run.
Yes, he does.
So, and Chip, you have a few winning cards here today. You won about $500, and then what's the lowest?
I think $1.30 for $1. Yes.
I mean, are you even going to cash those in?
Cash them all in.
That's what I'm talking about, Chip. So, I mean, you can see, I mean, it is crowded. I mean, thousands and thousands of people are here. You can't get a table. I mean, I met some guys over here, so I'm gonna introduce you to Troy and Al, and they hold up here at this high top table, and these guys from Philly. So, guys, I mean, what's it like? I mean, you can't get a table.
It's a great environment. You know, you come here to enjoy the track. You're here with family, fun, food, drinks. You gotta love it.
And then Al, I mean, is this, you know, it's not bad, but you wish you had a table?
Yeah, man. But I mean, it does the trick out. It does the trick, and I mean, we all love it here.
That's what I'm talking about.
The whole thing.
Absolutely. Well,
the whole thing, man. It's a family environment.
And that's all you really want to do. You want to come out, hang out with your family.
Yes, family first.
And maybe win some money.
Yeah, you got to win some money. Why not?
All right, guys. Well, good luck to you the rest of the day. We're going to send it back to you guys.
You got it. Good.
Nice improvising with that bar high top there, right?
That was very impressive.
Get the job done.
Indeed.
And it's just a great crowd over at that Picnic Grove area. Everybody today coming here as long as they lasted, right? Got a hat, not a bad deal, and a beautiful weather. And here we've got the 52nd running of the Cotillion Stakes. It's our first $1 million race of the day.
And one green up is 5-2, your second choice at this point. She won the Catherine Sophia Neal, which is the prep race for this, right when we came back off break here at PARX. And if she wins today, $50,000 bonus for the owner and the trainer for winning that race and the Cotillion. You see your favorite, Secret Oath, 7-5, never runs a poor race, ran in the Preakness, ran in the Arkansas Derby against the males. Shahama, Todd Pletcher's got 3 in here. Flavian Pratt, the rider, is 6-1. Morning Matcha, trained locally by Butch Reed, at 60-1. Society, who I think may be the speed of the race, all-time leading trainer in the history of the sport at 9,900 wins and counting, Steve Asmussen.
Secret Oath, the best 3-year-old filly in the country, won 3 of her first 4 starts of 2022, including the prestigious Grade 1 Kentucky Oaks. And let's go to Danny right now.
Well, there is nothing more exciting than the Kentucky Oaks winner taking on our Grade 1 Cotillion. Here's more on this very special filly with her Hall of Fame trainer, Dwayne Lucas. Hall of Fame trainer Dwayne Lucas is back at PARX with top 3-year-old filly, Secret Oath. She was so impressive this past spring, winning the prestigious Kentucky Oaks to give her trainer his 5th Oaks victory.
As they come to the wire, it is Secret Oath for the coach, Dwayne Lucas. She wins the Kentucky Oaks. Nest was second.
We like the main arena. We like the big challenge. We like to look good on the day when the whole world's watching. And so that Oaks, that was a highlight of the summer.
Lucas loves racing here at PARX. In fact, he won the Pennsylvania Derby in 2013 with Will Take Charge.
It's the Travers winner, Will Take Charge. He comes from off the pace, and look at Will Take Charge. The big colt has done it again.
Now Lucas hopes his Kentucky Oaks winner, Secret Oath, loves it here as well. The filly by Arrogate comes into the Cotillion off 2 consecutive second-place finishes, both to Nest, who she beat in the Kentucky Oaks.
Thinking championship, Nest can't afford to lose to us again. And if we go 1 mile and 1/16, maybe the edge is for us. If we go 1 mile and 1/4, it's probably the edge is to her. So it'll probably get down to the Breeders' Cup before it's all settled.
Today, Nest is resting, and Secret Oath is coming into today's race in excellent form.
The thing about Secret Oath is she has such an efficiency of motion. She goes over the track so easy that a lot of races are not very hard on her. Even when she tries hard and loses, I think those races are in her wheelhouse where she can recover. We went through that series at Saratoga feeling strong. But this race here was the one that we actually were pointing for. This is the one I thought we had the best chance of winning.
The race conditions stipulate that Secret Oath will carry the high weight of 126 pounds because of her Kentucky Oaks win. Despite that, the coach is confident in her chances. It's hard not to be starstruck by her. She's been nothing short of impressive, and she certainly embodies a champion. Back to you, Neil and Dick.
All right, Danny, thank you so much. And it is the 52nd running of the Cotillion Stakes. We are 12 minutes till post.
Is sports betting about to become way more fun? You bet. That's because the betPARX app has a brand new sports book and is ready to play. Live betting and parlays? You bet. Quick deposits and incredible promos? You bet. Plus, your first bet is risk-free up to $750. So, are you ready for a fast sign-up, fast betting, and fast withdrawals? You bet. betPARX.
Let's give you an odds update for the 9-horse field for the Cotillion. DJ?
So Secret Oath is your favorite at 3-2, Neil. Bet $2, win 3. Second choice, Green Up. We talked about she won the Catherine Sophia and looked really good doing it. She's won 4 races for trainer Todd Pletcher by combined almost 20 lengths. Shahama, also trained by Todd Pletcher, is your third choice, the 7 at 6-1. Adair Manor is your third choice for Bob Baffert. And Mike Smith, one of the great combinations in the history of the sport. Adair Manor, the 2, is 7-2. She hasn't raced since the day before the Preakness in the Black-Eyed Susan when she was second, and then Shahama is your 4th choice, number 7 for Todd Pletcher.
All right, so that's a good update on the odds, but let's check in with Maggie right now.
You know, we see a little bit of a hold up here because Todd Pletcher, he has here.
We just lost Maggie. We'll get her back in just a moment.
Yeah, that is Secret Oath we're looking at there, getting a little water. It's a little warm out here. They always try to keep these horses as much as they can, as much water as they can before they go out to the track. Yeah.
So
that Secret Oath is in the paddock, Neil. They haven't even come out of the paddock to the walking ring, which is right behind us. I think there was some issue with the 7. They were having the saddle wasn't on at least a few minutes ago. Now they're out in the walking ring behind us, which suggests we're getting in the vicinity of Riders Up, where we're going to hear from Jameer Nelson, who's going to do the Riders Up for the Cotillion.
And we had Jameer as our guest a little earlier, and Shahama was the 7 with the tough issue getting a saddle, I suppose, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I got that secondhand from a person who would know these things because he was looking at it. There's the 4 Beach Days who's trained locally. Jameer, there's Jameer right there hanging on.
He's pointing out, all right, you go this way, I'll go this way. He's nice and comfortable. It was great talking with him earlier.
Yeah, the St. Joe's legend, 14-year NBA career, 2009 NBA All-Star, the year his Orlando Magic made the NBA Finals against the Lakers, and of course, at St. Joe's. Neil, he's not only the all-time leading scorer at St. Joe's, all-time leading assist, all-time leading steals. There's very few people in the history of college basketball with all 3 of those for one school.
College Player of the Year on the cover of Sports Illustrated in 2004, and we mentioned earlier when our discussion with Jameer earlier. There he is. Let's hear it.
PARX Casino and Racetrack. It's time for Riders Up.
Well done by Jameer Nelson.
That was a pro Riders Up from a pro right there. Chester High School's own Jameer Nelson.
And by the way, later on, Riders Up for the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby will be
Eagles Hall of Famer Brian Dawkins and the horse named after him, B-Dawk, owned by our buddy Joe Bessiker and West Point Thoroughbreds of Terry Finley.
Yeah, so we'll look forward to that, and B-Dawk's going to join us here on set as well, so we're looking forward to that. So it's all part of this full afternoon of racing. And you know, Dick, the Cotillion 9-horse field. So give me a little sense about. We've talked a lot about Secret Oath.
Yep.
And what do you your takeaway from the field itself here this afternoon?
Look, it's really solid. Several graded stakes winners. We mentioned Todd Pletcher has 33% of the field. He's one of the best in the history of the sport. Mike Smith will ride Adair Manor for Bob Baffert, who's obviously had a lot of success here. He won with Plum Purdy this race several years ago. Of course, he's no secret to winning the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby. We'll talk about that in a bit. He's going to go for the record. But yeah, I mean, it's a Beach Days is a local train, ridden by Adam Bowman, Neil, who's getting to ride in his first ever Grade 1 stakes race. So you can imagine how excited he is. Wow. Yes, the horse is an extreme long shot, but it's just got to be so much fun for him. There's Secret Oath, the 6. With Louis Saez, who's been her regular rider all year long. And there were a couple times where D. Wayne wasn't quite sure about some of the things, but he hung with him. And Secret Oath, as we said, doesn't run a bad race, and you can hear the bugler. The horses are coming on the track.
So horses are out on the track getting ready for the Cotillion Stakes. $1 million for 9-horse field. Yeah. And let's do the post parade right here, Dick.
Yeah, that's green up. Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz Jr. again won the August 23rd. Catherine Sophia here at PARX, beating the Black-Eyed Susan winner in that race. Number 2 is Adair Manor, Bob Baffert, Mike Smith. Mike Smith is going for Cotillion win number 5 today. Yes, that's a record.
Number 3 is Goddess of Fire.
Goddess of Fire is one of the 3 Pletchers. This is the Pletcher Johnny Velasquez combination. Johnny already just won the Gallant Bob. He's 3rd behind Nest and Secret Oath in the Alabama Beach Days. We mentioned trained locally here by Farrell Mann. Adam Bowman getting his first shot in a Grade 1.
And 5 is Gerrymander.
Could not have been more impressive winning the Mother Goose back in June. Alabama was maybe a little too far. Chad Brown, Joe El Rosario, great combination.
We've talked a lot about Secret Oath 6 in this field.
Yes, by the late, great Arrogate, whose Dubai World Cup was maybe the standard for the 21st century, a great race until Flightline Pacific Classic
And
a couple
the
weeks
current
ago.
odds at 7-5, and then we have Shahama.
Won to Monmouth Oaks, second to Gerrymander in the Mother Goose, was far back in the Kentucky Oaks after a perfect record in Dubai.
And there's 8, Morning Matcha.
Morning Matcha, trained by PARX Hall of Famer Butch Reed. He's got 12 horses that are running on the card today. There's number 9, Society. Won the Charlestown Oaks, might be Lone Speed. Steve Asmussen's the trainer, Neil. He'll have 10,000 wins by the end of this year. We probably have it in another month the way he goes. He's the 4-time winner of the Cotillion. He's going for his 5th Cotillion win in the last 10 years.
5th Cotillion for a Hall of Famer and Steve Asmussen, the trainer for Society. So we will come back with more, including the race of the Cotillion Stakes.
Is today your lucky day? You bet. Because the new betPARX app is everything you want in a mobile casino and sportsbook right in your pocket. It's easy to sign up, fun to use, and faster to win than ever before. And best of all new betPARX app users have their choice between a $20 casino bonus or a $20 free sports bet. It's your call to make, which begs the question, is this the most rewarding casino and sportsbook betting app ever? You bet. betPARX.
We are in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Great race car, great weather, great activities, all part of the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby Day. Let's check in with Matt.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm down here in the Picnic Grove. There are thousands of people out here. We got Eagles tents, we got the hats, we got everything. And I'm here with Donnell. Donnell Mock is with the Pennsylvania Horse Racing Association. Donnell, what do we got going on here?
We have a whole VR system here today. So, we have this nice booth set up. If anyone wants to come see us, they get to ride on our simulator with the goggles and get to see what the jockeys are out there doing today.
How realistic is this? Because we got Maniac Malloy at betPARX with us right here, and he seems to be having a great time.
Oh, it's amazing. It's real life footage. You turn your head, a horse is next to you, behind you, in front of you. So you're right there in the race.
Now, I'm assuming they don't win anything, right?
No, well, we have some prizes. We have some bags, hand sanitizers, things like that. Yeah, and you're a winner just by getting to do it.
Yeah, he's saying he's winning. Pat, how you doing in this race? How you doing?
I'm coming down the back stretch. Here we go. Come on. Go, baby. Go, Kryptonite. Go.
All right, obviously Kryptonite is a winner. So come on out, down to the Picnic Grove here at PARX Casino. We're having a great time, and maybe we'll chat with you guys a little bit later. All right, Nick, Deal, back to you.
All right, that's classic. That looks like a lot of fun. You know what also is a lot of fun is the odds.
Yeah, Secret Oath's still your favorite. You see her in the number 6, 3-2. Second choice, Adair Manor. Third choice, Greeno.
All right, well, we've got the celebrity handicapper here again this year. That's Dr. Steve Appel, and with Kate right now.
Also a one-time orthodontist to the stars, and we'll all be smiling brightly if you give us a winner. Dr. Steve, who is it?
Well, I like the 1, 6, and 7 here, but my win bet is going to be on the 7, Shahama. She's 7-1 on the board. She's run 7 times and won 5 races. She loves to win. I think she's going to do it again today.
Concise and to the point, Neil. It's all in on Shahama.
All right, yes, 7 times, 5 wins. That's impressive right there.
Indeed it is. Most of those wins were in Dubai. She hasn't been quite as successful here in the USA, but if Dr. Steve says look out, we will look out as the final 2 horses get ready. It'll load in the gate.
All right, load in the gate, and Chris Griffin, race track announcer here at PARX, ready to call.
Much, guys. A few more left to load. Morning Matcha has gone in. Society, last to load. All in line. All set for the Grade 1 Cotillion. And they're off. Adair Manor's got speed. There is Society right from the outside draw. Will cross over, and Society gets right over to the rail. Just jumped the shadow there a little bit. Society will go into that first turn. Adair Manor is tracking now in second. Green Up is off the rail in third as they drift well off this rail into that turn. Beach Days is in fourth, then Gerrymander. Secret Oath is in the 6th position, is in between horses here towards the back end of the field with Morning Matcha. The 2 at the back, Goddess of Fire and Shahama. Society is wrangled in here by Florent Giroux, is still up by 3/4 of a length. Stalking off of her is Adair Manor. They are 3 lengths in front of Green Up, who's alone in third. Moving forward is Secret Oath, is starting to progress to the outside of Gerrymander, then Beach Days. Further back in the field is Goddess of Fire, Shahama, and the trailer is Morning Matcha, 46-3 for that half-mile time. They've got a half-mile left to go, and Society is in command. Society is 3 lengths in front of Adair Manor, who starts to lose some ground. Here comes Green Up, and now Secret Oath is making her move. Here comes Secret Oath to the inside, a group of 3, but they're all chasing this runaway leader in the Cotillion. Society is 6 lengths in front, but here comes Secret Oath, who's now alone in second. Green Up is fully extended. Morning Matcha from the back of the field. Less than a quarter mile to go. Society has still got a 4-length cushion. Here comes Secret Oath in pursuit, but Society is still clear. Approaching a final furlong. Society, Morning Matcha to the inside of Secret Oath. They're second and third. Society got right to the front. Has a 16th to go. And Society is gonna win the Cotillion as much the best. Morning Matcha for second, Secret Oath, then Green Up in 1 minute, 42-4.
Well, Dick Girardi, you could see from the get-go that Society went right to the rail, got the early lead, and never relinquished.
Yeah, some late money came in on Society, bet down to 7-1, but Florent Giroux, for my money, is as good a front-running rider as we have in the sport. That was the edge that Philly had in the race. He took the edge right from the start, basically ran the field right off their feet, and a great second for Butch Reed and his group, who are so hot today, coming up the rail late with Morning Matcha, who was 48-1 to finish second. Secret Oath, your 2-1 favorite, ended up finishing, or 2-1 second choice, ended up finishing third. Green Up got bet down to 9-5 right at the end. She was the favorite. She just didn't fight. She ended up finishing fourth, but loose on the lead. Asmussen now, that's 5 wins in the Cotillion in the last 10 years, including last year with Clariere.
That's amazing. Yes, and we'll talk about Secret Oath as well. What happened? We'll talk about that when we come back. The Cotillion unofficial winner right now is Society.
Could your favorite casino app be even better and faster than ever? You bet. Because the all-new betPARX app has been built around what you really want. With easier sign-up, faster withdrawals, and all the slots and table games you love. Plus, make your first deposit and get a 100% bonus match up to $750. And 500 free spins. So, are all of your favorite games just a tap away? You bet. betPARX.
In the winner's circle in the $1 million Cotillion Stakes here at Parx Racing, it is Society, the 9-horse, and what a start, what a finish, what a race.
Yeah, it was all about the start. Neil, Society had the speed. The only race she's ever lost in her life, there was a horse right next to her, stumbled really badly and kind of messed her start up. She had to rush up. She was beaten badly in the CCA Oaks. Other than that, she's won them all. In her most recent race, the Charlestown Oaks, was the top buyer figure in the race at 100, but they let her go off at 7 because I think people thought that was a fluke. It was not a fluke. She dominated this field from start to finish. There she is, the 9, Florent Giroux, the rider. And we mentioned Steve Asmussen, the Hall of Fame trainer, 5 of the last 10. 2012 Miss Aurelia, 2004 Untappable, 2018 Midnight Bizo when Monomoy Girl was disqualified, and last year Clariere, and this year Society. So the 9 is the furthest out here, Neil. There's 9 horses, and she is the 9. Society just breaks out and literally is going to cut right across the face of the whole field. She's so much faster than these horses that she wasn't cutting anybody off because she was already 2 lengths in front of them. And as we headed to the first turn, Florent Giroux was thinking to himself, man, this is just beautiful. Mike Smith is there with Adair Manor, the 2. Here we are on the far turn. She's now opened the race up. What happens with these speed horses, when they go fast enough early, it takes so much out of the other horses chasing them that they have nothing left for the finish. Like Secret Oath, who's second here, tried to make a run at the leader, couldn't, and now she gets tired. And here comes 48-1 Morning Matcha, Butch Reed. We mentioned Glenn Bennett's LC Racing. Chuck Zachny's Cash is King. They won 3 races earlier in the day. Now they're second in the Grade 1 Cotillion.
All right, let's go to the winner now in Caton in the winner's circle.
Well, Society made Florent Drew's job a little bit easier. Tell me about your trip.
Very simple, Kayan. She broke super sharp and straight to the lead. Set some very honest fraction, relaxed for me nicely down the backside. And when I was curtailing for home, she was able to give me another gear and won very impressively at the end.
I'm curious, you rode her father, Gun Runner. Do you see any similarities?
They're both chestnut.
And speaking of chestnuts, you have another chestnut that is a Gun Runner offspring coming up in an important race in the Pennsylvania Derby. Talk about Cyberknife.
I'm excited about him. Like you say, he's one of the best, 3-year-old son of Gun Runner this year. Very excited about what he's capable of doing, and we know he can win a race like this, but seems like a very open race, very not the easiest of a Grade 1 of the year. Since it's the last one, looks like everybody's taking a last swing at it. And hopefully have some more luck with those Gun Runner.
Do you feel like you'll be on the lead?
Honestly, I don't think so. I feel like there's another horse or two quicker than me, but if he breaks sharp, I'm not going to take him back just for the fun of it. Looked like he ran a great race last time on the lead in the Traverse. I think it's going to be a little more on his ballpark, going a -8 and a -1/4. I think he's more like a -8 type of horse than longer than that. So I'm excited, and hopefully he takes to the track very well.
1 down, 1 to go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Neil, he had an awful lot of success with the Gun Runner, one of the best horses of his generation. He's already got 1 win today, and he's looking very good going into the big one.
That's right, with Cyberknife, and we'll talk about Cyberknife and Taba later on for the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby, but right now the prices for the Cotillion.
Yes, the Society paid $17.60, Neil, which is about as high as you can get for a 7-to-1 shot. 8-to-1 would have been $18 plus. Morning Match, we mentioned, Butch Reed, 48-to-1 second. That's $33.20 to place. Secret Oath, who's just run her heart out all year long. She always gives a big effort. She finished 3rd in the Cotillion.
And we talked about Secret Oath again. Just kind of ran out of steam, didn't have it. I mean, you got to give Society all the credit in the world for the way that started.
Now, it really, Neil, it was in this race, as it often is in horse racing, about the first 100 yards, not the last 100 yards. Horse race, it's like sports. The team with the lead is always the most dangerous team. Everybody talks about the come from behinders. That's not what wins in this sport. It's not what wins in any sport. When you're loose on the lead with a good horse like Society, who always had the talent, today she got out there and there was nobody getting close.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Let's go back to Kate, or to Danny, actually. Danny, let's go to Danny.
Yeah, I'm here joined with Brian Sanfratello, the executive secretary of our Pennsylvania Horse Breeders Association. You guys had a big day today. You unveiled 2 new stakes for PA bred and PA sire 2-year-olds, the Imply and the Prince Lucky. Tell us about those.
Well, we wanted to do something for the stallions in Pennsylvania. So we got all the principals together and decided that that would really help them if we had a PA sired PA bred race. So we put a stakes schedule together for them. We had the first 2 on PA day at the races, and we had the last 2 here. We also wound up giving a $50,000 trainer bonus away to 4 different trainers. So that was good, and we're expanding it next year. We're going with 6 races for over $1 million in purses. So it really put a boost into the program, and even without this, arguably we have one of the best breeding programs in the country.
Oh, no doubt. This shows the strength of the PA Breeders program. Lots of incentives to breed in Pennsylvania. Neil and Dick, it pays to have a PA bred.
It does. Thank you so much, Danny. And there we get ready now for coming up, the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby. Boy, that's going to be a heck of a race. We're looking forward to it.
That's number 1, Zandon.
Yep. Turf Monster, though, is up next.
Here in Pennsylvania, we're proud of our breeding program, the best in North America, but we're also proud to be leaders in this industry. The PA Horse Breeders Association is funding cutting-edge research at Penn Vet to detect gene doping in thoroughbreds. And we endorsed the SAFE Act to help end the slaughter of American horses. Plus, we're pleased to support the aftercare programs set up by our horsemen's groups. Just a few of the reasons why you should join us in Pennsylvania, the premier place to breed and race.
Welcome back to Bensalem, Pennsylvania. It is the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby that is on deck. But before we get to that race, we've got a great guest here who will be doing Riders Up for the Pennsylvania Derby. You know what you got to do there? Brian Dawkins, 16 seasons in the National Football League. In 2018, the safety went into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and we are delighted to have him here with us on our set. Good to see you, Brian.
It's good to be seen. Good to see you as well.
So this Riders Up thing, you ready?
I think I am. Is it anything to it?
Well, you're gonna fire everybody out, right?
Yeah,
you're used to that.
I'm excited about it, and having a horse here with my B-Dog, like that's come on, man. Like I had to come out, right?
When did you find out there was a horse named B-Dog?
Wow, I found out on my social media feed. I all of a sudden saw. About a couple of months ago, to be honest with you, that there's a horse with my name, and I love it. I love it.
Are you going to bet on?
No, I'm not. That is not.
That is not his style. That's not his style.
That's
but Joe Bessiger, one of the owners, right? We saw Joe just a couple minutes ago wearing your jersey, right? He's all ready. He's got the number 20. Yes. He's all excited about this race. What do you know about B-Dog?
I know that he is 20-1, right? So he's successful, and he's doing his thing. He's still, from my understanding, still young when it comes to racing. So he's got some things to do to continue to get stronger, so he can put some better numbers up if possible. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Just a little.
Brian, tell us about your foundation and your book.
Oh, wow. Well, so Brian Dawkins, Blessed by the Best, is something that I began to write soon after I was blessed to get into the Hall of Fame. I began to kind of pin it in my head of some of the things that I've gone through in my life that people just don't understand. And the foundation is just that. It's just from the things that I've seen in my life, the people that I've seen to be hurt by some of the circumstances they find themselves in and what they were lacking. That's what the foundation does. So we bless single parents with some resources that they need, them and their kids in the household. But we also do some things from a mental health. I call it cerebral wellness. I don't call it mental health anymore. I call it cerebral wellness. But we give through high schools. We bless the kids in the high schools with some of the resources they need, the tools in the toolbox, so to speak, to help them deal with life's ups and downs from their emotional standpoint.
Dick, I was thrilled because Brian has this book, right? He has his book out, and he came to Rowan University, where I work and oversee the sports communication program. And he came, I'll tell you what, did he fire up those students or what?
Well,
he
that's what
was
he always
outstanding.
did. That's what he did when he played. That's what he's still doing.
Yeah, the way you connect with your people when you talk, Brian, you did the same thing with your teammates. You're so passionate, and it relates to the audience.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I'm very transparent about some of the things that I've been through in my life. And I say been through, I've grown through a lot of things in my life. But here's the other thing I always want people to see, that is I don't want to just talk about that part. I want to talk about where I am now. So the things that are on the other side of some of the things that we go through in our lives. So I'm blessed to be able to communicate with people so that they can kind of relate to where I'm coming from. And if I can help you help yourself so you can have a better outlook on life, come on, I have to do that.
Yeah, it's
great.
great.
I have to do it.
Well, I'll tell you what. B-Dog is 99-1.
Are you
we
serious?
need 99-1.
On,
we got to get going. Let's go.
Get ready for that Riders Up, Brian.
Yeah,
Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Earlier today, we had the only race that's on the turf, and that's the Turf Monster. So let's take a look right now at the field for the $300,000 5 furlongs, 3-year-olds in the Turf Monster.
Yeah, Uncle Ernie, John Service is the favorite. First time on grass at 2-1, but watch out for That's Right. He's got the rail. He's 5-2, and he's all speed. Boats are rocking at 5-1, but don't blink, Neil. This is going to take about 57 seconds. The Turf Monster and Smooth B, again, Butch Reed, Frankie Pennington, they're at 5-1.
All right, let's go to Chris Griffin with a call.
And they're off, broken an even line. That's Right has early speed. There's Boats are Rockin' in the early mix, and Uncle Ernie in the gold cap. It's Uncle Ernie, and That's Right, they're 1-2. And behind them is going to be Dr. Duke is in the third spot. Boats are Rockin' is 3 wide. 4 wide will be Breezy Gus. 5 wide is Smooth B as they speed up the backstretch on the turf course. Grooms All Business is out wider as well with West Fork. Towards the back end of the field, Extreme Force, Hero's Reward, and the trailer is War Toxin. It's That's Right who's got the lead. Is up by a full length. Uncle Ernie is dropping back. Slipping through to the inside is Dr. Duke, who's in pursuit. In between horses, Boats are Rockin'. They've got to catch That's Right, who hugs the rail. That's Right kicks for home, and the Turf Monster is 2.5 lengths in front. Dr. Duke down towards the inside, running on his Breezy Gust. In between horses, Boats are Rockin'. From the far outside, Grooms All Business, a 16th to go. That's Right is almost there. That's Right is 3 in front. Boats are Rockin', the only anyone with a chance. That's right, Andy Hernandez, they win the Turf Monster.
And let's show you the winning, the prices here with That's Right. Win and place was Boats A-Rockin'. We showed Dr. Duke.
And trainer Mike Moore is having the best year of his career, and this is the best horse he's ever had. When he got onto the turf, Neil, he became a killer. Congratulations to Michael Moore and owner Jim Shannon. They have a turf sprint star, and That's Right, and he proved it again today. They waited for the Turf Monster after a disappointing effort at Saratoga, and boy, were they rewarded today.
You know, I mentioned earlier, great stories here, great people. We just met Brian Dawkins. Here's another one. Here's Danny right now.
Well, I am thrilled to be with Danielle Montgomery, who represents our Turning for Home program, and I get to work alongside every day with you with these amazing horses. Give us an update.
Turning for Home's still doing great. We've been, as you know, since 2008 helping the horses retire here from PARX Racing, and a lot of exciting things are going on. We're getting ready for the Retired Racehorse Makeover. We have 20 horses going to the makeover, which is more than any other one program, and that's been the goal of our program since day one, is when the horses retire, they have to have that transition from racing to training. So the Retired Makeover, we put these horses into the hands of the best trainers in the country to retrain them for a second career. And like I said, we're just happy that it's smooth sailing, everything's going good here, and we're just excited to have another year with the retired racehorses.
Oh, absolutely. And we have a big day coming up in October, another annual Turning for Home Day. Tell us really quickly why it's so cool to bring our adopters with our racing community here and get that blended together.
That's the right word, blended, the transition. I think one of the main things that we've done with Turning for Home in the last few years is just kind of dispel those myths. You know, like people think that racehorses are high-strung or crazy or anything, and the one thing the training shows is that in just a few months they can be the best riding horses that they ever had. So the adopters love it. It's a good transition to get more people into racing. So if we could bring them here and get them as excited to see great horses like this, that's the whole goal, is just to bring everybody together and just love these amazing animals for what they are.
Absolutely. Well, it takes a village for these amazing equine athletes. Thank you so much. Back to you, Neil and Dick.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Danielle. And thank you for what you do, Danielle. It's great job by their program, Turning of Home. And the best Pennsylvania Derby race car in PARX history. It's coming up next. We'll preview it.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
Who proudly earn our living.
In Pennsylvania's horse racing,
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
but it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs and billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Hey, welcome back, guys. I'm here with Jack and Tom in the Picnic Grove. Jack, Tom, you guys said that you are in horses today, a winner. Tell me how.
We joined a syndicate called My Racehorse and got my Vocateur, and we threw our wallet at them today. Didn't as we want, but we're here for the Pennsylvania Derby, which is this last one, which Randy, and we're just glad PARX is doing well.
And Tom, tell me what the atmosphere is like at Picnic Grove. People ran to commandeer these tables earlier today. Do you guys have a table, or have we kind of been floating around?
Absolutely. We had someone here in the morning to give us front row, and he was dedicated, and we were glad for him, and it's been worth it all. It's been a good time.
All right, well, congratulations on your win. Yeah, it's like Black Friday here in the morning. People through these tables. They're very coveted down here. Having fun, and we got the big race coming up. So we're going to still check the pulse of these people, and it's fun down at Grove. Come on down and check us out.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. So the 41st running of the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby. Dick, our second $1 million race of the day.
So Zandon, Chad Brown, Joe Rosario, the winner of the Bluegrass Stakes, third in the Kentucky Derby is 3-1. Icy Storm, you see at 99. B Dawk at 80. Skippy Longstocking, West Virginia Derby winner at 19. Cyberknife, the Haskell winner, co-second choice at 3-1. Also the Arkansas Derby winner. We the People, aptly named Neil, a son of Constitution. Of course he's We the People. Tawny Port at 15-1. Taba's your favorite. Mike Smith, Bob Baffert. Bob going for a record fourth betPARX Pennsylvania Derby. Simplification 35-1. He's the horse from out of town that got here the earliest. Naval Aviator local, Abner Adorno local jockey 99-1. White Barrio the Florida Derby winner, Savvy Joseph, won this race in 2019 with a 31-1 shot named
And
Math Wizard.
Yeah, let's check in with Maggie right now.
Well, Taba, a little over 18 months ago, cost $1.7 million at the Fayetteville Gulfstream sale, and in only 4 starts since then, he's recouped nearly $700,000 of that. But with a win here, the winner's share of $600,000, he could be closer to recouping that sales price. But he's going to have to step up and take down his main rival, Cyberknife. Top 3-year-old colt Taba arrived at Parx Racing on Tuesday from the West Coast. The son of Gunrunner was highly regarded as one of the Kentucky Derby favorites after he won the Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby back in April.
Taba running lights out on the outside, and here's Taba getting the upper hand in the final stages. The run-happy Santa Anita Derby goes to Taba.
At the time, Taba, who was lightly raced, took a shot at the Kentucky Derby, finishing a disappointing 12th. But his connection still had confidence this talented chestnut colt was good enough to race against the best in the country. Next up, the Haskell.
Cyberknife takes the lead. Taba going with him. These two in a thriller. Cyberknife just in front, and Cyberknife has won the TVG.com Haskell over Taba.
He's a lightly raced horse, so any race that he could have, he'll benefit from. He hadn't ran since the Derby. He really showed up that day. I think we just got beat a head or a nose. It was unfortunate that we lost, but with a race under our belt, he should be ready to go.
The winner of the Haskell Cyberknife is also here. This 3-year-old burst onto the scene by winning the Arkansas Derby impressively.
The Arkansas Derby winner, and his name is Cyberknife.
Cyberknife, who is the only 3-year-old in the country with 2 Grade 1s, has been training superbly. So Cox wanted to take a shot at this $1 million race.
We're trying to get to the Breeders' Cup. He's doing so well. I just feel like we could run him, and it's not like we're just running him. It's a $1 million race. It's a Grade 1. Could add some value to him as a stallion. So I think it makes sense to take a swing.
And the distance is perfect, says Cox.
He's performed really well at a mile and 1/8. Feel like that's probably his right in his wheelhouse is his favorite distance, and I think with a good trip, he's going to be right there at a mile and 1/8.
Today, the rematch is on. 2 exciting 3-year-olds, both looking to win another Grade 1 on the way to the Breeders' Cup in November.
Well, it is time for Riders Up. You saw Brian
Ladies
Dawkins
and
here.
gentlemen,
Here he is.
it's time for Riders Up!
I'm not surprised that he would sell it the way Brian did. Thank you, Brian Dawkins.
Powerhouse riders up from Jameer and then Brian Dawkins.
That's terrific. That's terrific. So Bob Baffert goes for a record 4th Pennsylvania Derby win today.
He does.
Not here. Jimmy Barnes is here representing Bob. But just talk a little bit about Taba that we just saw in that piece.
Right. Taba is the most lightly raced horse in the race, but he's got the highest ceiling, Neil. He's like the freshman that's just starting to learn how to play, right? And by the time he gets to be a senior, he's completely dangerous. But yeah, I think Taba is Haskell. It kind of whatever could go wrong early in the race did, but then he came flying at the finish. So he's the even money favorite as we're getting to about 8 minutes to post.
Yeah, second career start wins the Anita Derby.
Santa Anita Derby in your second start, that doesn't happen in real life, and he did it, and then he went to Kentucky, which he probably should have done.
So Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith aboard, so just a great field. So the horses right now in the walking ring behind us, and this is what everybody's been waiting for.
Yeah, they're going to take a tour around. That was B-Dawk you just saw a second ago, the Joe Bessiker horse, who named obviously after
there's
Brian
Joe
Dawkins.
right there with the 20.
There's Joe B with the white hat, the 20 Brian Dawkins jersey right behind White Abario. There he is. Emerald Asset Management. Joe B's a St. Joe's grad. So choose. There's the 6. That is We the People. He'll probably be one of the horses out in front. Neil, we've had 3 dirt route races today. All 3 of them have been won by the horse that got to the lead at the beginning. There's 2, Icy Storm, trained locally by Felix Flores. Koba and ridden by Jeremy Laprida. 3 is B-Dawk, and it's so cool that B-Dawk, named for Brian Dawkins, and Joe paid $425,000 for B-Dawk.
Wow.
He'd never paid more than $100. I said, what happened? He says, well, I got a little carried away.
Yeah, a little carried away, but
and by the way,
a big Eagle fan.
His rider, Frankie Pennington, We'll get to Frankie in a second. They're heading out to the track now for the post parade.
All right, so the deepest field ever assembled for the Pennsylvania Derby. It is here, and it begins with Zandon.
Zandon has been never worse than third in 7 races. He's been in with the best. If he gets a hot pace scenario, and his late run with Joe Rosario could be very, very dangerous. Chad Brown won this race with Connect back in 2016 when he was against the Derby winner and the Preakness winner. So Chad Brown is trying for his second PA Derby. Here's Icy Storm. Locally, Jeremy Laprito, the rider, getting a shot at a grade 1. This horse was second to Scaramouche in his last race. We just saw Scaramouche. What did he do, Neil?
Yeah.
He just won the Gallant Bob.
B-Doc, the 3 that we talked about.
Super impressive, breaking his maiden at Keeneland. Trainer is Doug O'Neill, who's won this race twice, including last year with Hot Rod Charlie. Frankie Pennington, Cowboys fan Joe Besker almost took him off for that reason alone. Skippy Longstocking is the 4. He's the West Virginia Derby winner. I think he's dangerous, Neil. He's got speed, and speed has been good today.
Cyberknife at 5.
As Maggie said a minute ago, the only 3-year-old in the country with 2 grade 1 wins this year. $50,000 appearance fee for owner Al Gold and trainer Brad Cox for appearing. We the People is all speed. That's how he's going to go. He set the pace in the Belmont in West Virginia. Bobby Flay involved in the ownership group.
Tawny Port at 7.
Won the Lexington Stakes and the Ohio Derby, 3rd most recently in the Jim Dandy behind Travers winner Epicenter and Zandon.
8 is Taba.
Taba's your favorite. Bob Baffert going for a record 4th betPARX Pennsylvania Derby. Woody Stevens has won 3. Nick Zito's won 3. And there's 9. Simplification. Won the Fountain of Youth, 4th in the Kentucky Derby. Probably be coming from the back.
Number 10, Naval Aviator.
Naval Aviator trained here at Parks by Ernesto Padilla Preciado, ridden by Parks regular Abder Adorno, claimed for $50,000 back in May. And there's your Florida Derby winner, White Barry O'Neill, and he hasn't been the same since he left Florida. All of his wins have been in Florida.
That's a great field. We've set the stage for the $1 million betPARX Pennsylvania Derby here at Parks Racing in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Stay tuned. Here is the odds update, even money for Taba, Dick.
Yeah, co-second choices at this point. Zandon, the Bluegrass winner, Cyberknife, the Arkansas Derby, and Haskell winner. 2 of the 4 grade 1 winners in this Pennsylvania Derby. We have 8 graded stakes winners in the race.
Let's quickly check in with Maggie.
Here with trainer Brad Cox as well as assistant trainer Brody Cox. But Brad, you do send out Cyberknife in here. I know this wasn't the original plan, but talk about your decision to ultimately put him in here.
I just trained so well. Come out of Saratoga, took him back to church. We had 2 really good moves and thought, look, there's $1 million on the line. It's a grade 1. Take a swing. He really is doing well.
He could be top 3-year-old with a win here. What do you feel about that?
It doesn't matter what I think. I don't get the vote, so we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're not here because of that. I promise you. It really, really has nothing to do with that. He's really doing well, and just thought, pretty much our last opportunity against straight 3-year-olds.
Brad, wishing you the best of luck with him and Tawny Port.
Thanks, Maggie.
All right, Brad Cox could have a top 3-year-old in back-to-back years. Neil?
Yeah, Cyberknife, 2-time grade 1 winner. What will happen today in the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby? It's coming up next.
Is sports betting about to become way more fun? You bet. That's because the betPARX app has a brand new sports book and is ready to play. Live betting and parlays? You bet. Quick deposits and incredible promos? You bet. Plus, your first bet is risk-free up to $750. So, are you ready for a fast sign-up, fast betting, and fast withdrawals? You bet. betPARX.
Welcome back to Parks Racing. This is the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby. Horses now leading to the gate right now, getting ready.
That's Simplification, the 9, and there'll only be a couple of more to go in. And you can, your favorite is Taba at even money, the 8-horse, Zandon and Cyberknife 3-1.
Quick check in with Kate.
Okay, Dr. Steve, who's it going to be?
I'm using the 4, 5, and 6 here, and you can make a win bet on either the 4 or the 6.
That's it. You've run out of time. He's hedging his bets, Neil.
All right, it is time to go upstairs. Chris Griffin, track announcer for the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby.
Last to load will be White Abario to the outside. All in line. All set for the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby. And they're off. Skippy Longstocking has early speed. We the people from in between horses. Taba has got the lead now. It's Taba to the inside, and White Abario is trying to cross over. Plenty of pace on as they pass the wire the first time. White Abario and Taba, they're 1-2 into the first turn. Simplification is up in the early mix as well as in third. We the People is tracking from fourth, followed by Tawny Port, who's in the 2-path now in the 5th position, followed by Skippy Longstocking. At the rail is Icy Storm. Cyberknife is 5 lengths off the lead. Zandon towards the back end of the field with Naval Aviator, and B-Doc is the trailer. They move to the backstretch, and White Abario has got the lead. It's White Abario who's up by 3/4 of a length. Simplification is stalking from second. Now We the People is moving forward from third. Taba has lost some ground in the 4th spot, is right there tucked in behind the leaders. Skippy Longstocking is in the clear, is in 5th, followed by Icy Storm and Tawny Port. Cyberknife is looking to split rivals with Naval Aviator in behind that. Zandon, the trailer, is B-Doc. 23-1 was the opening quarter mile. 47-1 for a half-mile time. Less than a half-mile to go. White Abario is still the leader. Simplification is right there in second. We the People is now called upon. Taba is at the rail in 4th. Skippy Longstocking continues to make up some ground, and now Cyberknife is within range, is 3.5 off the lead. Zandon dropping back was Tawny Port. A quarter mile left to go, and Simplification takes it right to White Abario. Here comes Taba, who's looming up on the outside, and Taba has taken the lead. It's Taba and Simplification out in the center of the racetrack. Zandon from way out of it for a final furlong. Taba's got the front end, but here comes Zandon, who's rolling late. A 16th to go. It's Taba in the center of the racetrack, but Taba is drawing away, and Taba with Mike Smith, they win the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby. Zandon up for second, then a photo. Cyberknife and Simplification in 1 minute 48-3.
The head-to-head matchup, Taba and Cyberknife. It is Taba that gets it this time, and Dick, you called it. You saw it coming down the stretch.
Right, at the top of the stretch, you could see it. Mike Smith was crying the whole race to get Taba off of the rail, Neil. He's not really that comfortable there. Once Mike was able to swing out behind the early leaders on that far turn, this horse just has a massive stride. Bob Baffert doesn't miss. This is now a record 4th betPARX Pennsylvania Derby. That's Taba furthest out, red cap. That's Zandon, the Bluegrass winner, on the rail with Joel Rosario coming from way back. It's going to be an 8-1 finish, 7-5 favorite. Zandon is your 3-1, I think, second choice. And it's the Santa Anita Derby winner over the Bluegrass winner. 2 Grade 1 horses ran 1-2 in the Grade 1 betPARX PA Derby.
Yeah, terrific finish and impressive. Taba, we talked about Taba, and here performed admirably.
He always had the biggest upside of any horse in the race, and it was just a question of what he's lightly raced. Was he going to be ready in his second race since the Kentucky Derby? Neil, as you said earlier, he won the Santa Anita Derby in his second lifetime race. And there's Taba and Mike Smith right there heading back to the winner's circle.
Mike Smith, Hall of Fame jockey, gets it done today.
Is today your lucky day? You bet. Because the new betPARX app is everything you want in a mobile casino and sportsbook right in your pocket. It's easy to sign up, fun to use, and faster to win than ever before. And best of all new betPARX app users have their choice between a $20 casino bonus or a $20 free sports bet. It's your call to make, which begs the question, is this the most rewarding casino and sportsbook betting app ever? You bet. betPARX.
The betPARX Pennsylvania Derby has been brought to you by Parks Casino and Racing. This is how you win. And by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run. By the Pennsylvania Horse Racing Association. What a ride. And the Pennsylvania Breeders Association. Pennsylvania is the only place to breed and race.
Taba's last start was July 23rd. He's still learning. but winning along the way.
Yeah, you could see it coming in the Haskell, Neil, when he ran second. And, again, he was on the rail that day. It just took him longer to get out. When he finally got out, he came running at Cyberknife. This time he got first run on Cyberknife. Cyberknife didn't get that same in-between trip that he got in the Haskell at Monmouth Park, which is about an hour or so from here. But Taba and Mike Smith, and as we mentioned, trainer Bob Baffert had the most betPARX PA Derby winners in a tie with Woody Stevens and Nick Zita. Now he stands alone at 4, and he stands alone in a lot of things in this sport. And the owner is Zidane Racing Stable. He owned Medina Spirit, who finished first in last year's Kentucky Derby, and we know what happened afterwards. He was eventually disqualified. But yeah, Taba this is a real talent. You'll see him in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So Taba is 4th on the rail, red cap. Blue Silks Mike, and again, he's just trying to get out of there, Neil, because the horse is more comfortable. Now you see, as soon as he got out, you see the stride lengthen almost immediately. That's White Barrio in front. Simplification is involved in this, and he's going to run right by the 2 horses from Florida. That's Zandon, the Bluegrass winner, closest to the rail with Joe Rosario. But just look at the stride at the finish on Taba. This is a really talented horse who's getting better all the time. Cyberknife is going to come on, the Haskell and Arkansas Derby winner, to just get 3rd at the end. But the right horses ran 1, 2, 3. These were the most accomplished horses in the race, and that's how it ran.
And now Bob Baffert has won the Pennsylvania Derby 2014, 2017, 2018,
and 2022.
2022.
Yep.
Let's go back to Caton right now.
Not only is Mike Smith rushing to get a plane, but he still has time to thank Sal DeBunda and all his friends and fans here in Pennsylvania. But you have a lot of ties here, don't you?
I certainly do. My father lived here for a long time, so it's always, he's up in heaven watching now, but it's always extra special winning here.
Take me through the trip. Just a remarkable performance.
Yeah, I mean, I thank Bob and Jimmy, the whole crew, man. They did an amazing job getting this horse ready for this race. He got away really well, Kate. I wanted to be in the clear, to be honest with you. He's a little bit green about dirt, but he's been getting better with it. I was kind of forced to go to the inside instead of trying to do something erratic early. I thought, you know what, just be patient. There's plenty of race left. Got down in there, I was able to kind of keep him in between where it wasn't hitting him too much, but then he kind of got used to it and started running into it. And when he did that, I knew he was going to run big. It was just a matter of giving him a place to run, and once I got out heading for home, it was all him. He was gone.
He has so much talent and ability that you forget how light on experience he is. Where is he at, and what might the ceiling be?
He's got a turn of foot, Caden, that reminds me of a great grass horse. You know how they just have that explode? He has that on dirt, which is very unusual. I mean, it sets you back in the rumble seat whenever he does it. It's pretty neat.
Mike, you've ridden an awful lot of good horses. Probably next test might be Breeders' Cup Classic. You think he's up to the task?
I can't wait. He's just got so much upside to him. He's just going to get better and better.
It's always great to talk to you. Congratulations.
All right. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, guys.
Mike Smith giving his thanks to Bob Baffert and rushing off, but always willing to take a moment to connect with old friends, and he's certainly a fan favorite here in Pennsylvania.
Well, he should be. He just had a nice win today.
Yeah, Taba, a son of Gunrunner, just like Society, who won the Cotillion before Gunrunner, the 2017 Horse of the Year, and one of the hottest sires in the world right now. So you got the Santa Anita Derby winner over the Bluegrass winner, over the Arkansas Derby / Haskell winner. 3 terrific horses ran 1, 2, 3 in the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby.
And California-based rider Mike Smith, the Hall of Famer. Now's ridden Taba, came in running 3 out of the 4 races right prior. And now getting it done, knowing the horse, I think that's a big part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, and Mike is a medical marvel, Neil. He's 57 years old. I always called him, he's like the Bernard Hopkins of horse racing. Yeah. He's just always in this incredible shape, runs a couple of miles 4 or 5 times a week, is in the gym all the time. And I mean, really, you're supposed to be getting, like, at the end. Did he look like he was having any problems out there?
No, I think he did just fine.
Yeah, and Mike is one of the terrific guys. Of course, he won the Triple Crown on Justify in 2018 and has been on some of the great horses in the history of the sport. We mentioned he's won the Cotillion 4 times, including for John Service way back in 2000, and then Songbird, the great Songbird, here in 2016. So as he said, his dad, who used to work in the parking lot, I knew George very well. He was talking about his dad a minute ago. But yeah, Mike has a lot of ties here. Mike worked in New York for years and has been in California for years. And he and Bob Baffert, who won that Triple Crown at 18, make a tremendous team. And when they're in, somebody said, well, who's going to win? I said, to me, when Baffert is here with Mike Smith on a horse that's got paper, and this horse has really good paper, look out. They're probably going to end up in a winner's circle.
And the audience didn't see this, but I did. He just literally ran, and he sprinted.
He's trying to get
to his flight.
He's trying to get back
to his
home.
flight.
Yep.
So the airport's about 45 minutes away. Good luck to Mike Smith. What about White Barrio? Got off to a great start.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Society did in the Cotillion.
Right. It was interesting. Savvy Joseph, his trainer, said, look, we're sending White Barrio to the lead. I talked to him at the press conference yesterday. I said, Savvy, did I read that right? He says, yeah, that's what we're going to do. He thought that was his best chance. He'd been kind of sluggish lately, got beaten badly, but he just wasn't good enough. He just doesn't have the same form he had in Florida. He's never been able to recapture that form. But because I think Mike wanted the lead, I think he would like to have been on the lead with Taiba, because we mentioned the 3 dirt route races have all been one wire to wire. But as you said, that's why he's such a veteran guy. When it didn't work, what he wanted to do have happened. He went to plan B, sat the rail as long as he needed to, and then when that opening came on the far turn, I actually leaned over to Neil during the race. I said, Taiba's winning the race. You could just see it coming, and there he went.
I was impressed with that. That was a great call. Yeah, that was terrific. So let's get some closing thoughts from our crew that worked all day here at betPARX Pennsylvania Racing Derby Day. Let's go to Caton and Maggie together right now.
Well, you know, maybe it was too obvious, Maggie. At the end of the day, I do think that the start of the race had a lot to do with the finish, but there's no taking away from the performance by Taiba.
And he was so much more comfortable inside, Kate. And I think we often get lost in the fact that we just judge the final performance. And this is only the 5th start of this horse's career. So he showed a little bit of his greenness in that Haskell, and he took a massive step forward today. He's finally recouping some of that purchase price of $1.7 million. And, you know, Gary Young, I just spoke to him, who purchased him, said that this is a horse that they have thought so much of and think he can go on from here and be a very good 4-year-old.
He definitely is very good right now as a 3-year-old, and a fun thing to look forward to. Danny, I think that another 3-year-old has thrown his hat in the ring.
Well, it's been just such an exciting day. I could not be happier for our Parks connections. I can't wait to catch up with all the trainers next week and just relive the experience. And it was kind of funny when I saw Jimmy Barnes at our cocktail party last night. I said I had a dream. I had a dream that Taiba was going to win and Brad Cox was going to run 2nd and 3rd. Well, I saw him afterwards and he said, well, part of your dream came true, and we got to celebrate and have a good laugh. But what a great day for Pennsylvania racing, and couldn't be more proud of our Parks-based trainers. Back to you guys.
All right, Danny, thank you, and also thanks to Caton and to Maggie and Matt Alba as well for the Picnic Grove and talking to all the fans who have really enjoyed. What a great day of racing.
It really was, Neil, from beginning to end. 13 races. We got actually one more after we go off the air, but trying to get an all-time record handle, and I suspect they're going to get one today. And as Danny said, local trainers did really well, including my buddy Mike Moore, who had the best win of his life in the Turf Monster with That's Right.
Yeah, great day, and we're so glad you were able to be with us here at Parks Racing for what was a spectacular field. The finishes were unbelievable, and we are thrilled that you were able to be with us for betPARX Pennsylvania Derby Day, and it was so much fun for Dick and for myself here to be able to watch these beautiful horses and the kids. Look at that, Dick. The kids taking it all in. I want to thank executive producer Bruce Casella, producer David Bruner, and director David Newman, and also for all my colleagues here and the crew that's working this wonderful event. Hope you can join us next year here in September, because the weather was spectacular, and the finish and the winner, Taiba, takes home the betPARX Pennsylvania Derby.